There are a lot of parenting programs around nowadays. Some are very popular and influential. While I think most parenting problems contain useful information, there are some areas that they all seem to get wrong. In this video, I want to share my thoughts about what they tend to get wrong and highlight some things they never seem to mention. So let's get started. Many parenting experts focus on behaviors and not on the relationship. This is probably because most parents that are reading parenting books or seeking help are doing so because their kids are exhibiting bad behaviors or troubling behaviors. But many times the solution to these behavior issues is through some kind of external control, some kind of behavior modification. And what I really think popular parenting programs miss is on the process of turning our kids inward and helping them be guided by their own thoughts and feelings of approval and disapproval. So let me illustrate what I mean with a true story from many years ago. When my daughter Jessica was 7 years old, I was faced with a situation that was super frustrating. I had just come home from a really long day at work. I was exhausted. My wife quickly recounted the problem that Jessica had that day, and she informed me that I was going to be the one who was dealing with it. So Valerie had received a call that afternoon from the school, and they were telling her that Jessica had kicked one of her peers in the face during recess. So let me tell you a couple things about Jessica. She is and always has been extremely independent and capable. She was born this way, and this is a trait that I love about her, but I have struggled with her. This phone call that we got from the school was definitely not the first time we'd been hearing from them. In fact, it was starting to become a pattern. So here I am, I'm coming home from work that day. I was in no mood to be gentle, and I was exhausted, I was tired, I was frustrated, but all of my past efforts at helping her with these kinds of problems always involved me lecturing her, bribing, threatening, yelling, pleading, grounding, or just, any of those sorts of punitive methods. And nothing worked with her. There was nothing that was working, and I frankly had no idea what to do with her. This time, I was going to do something different with her. Nothing else was working, so why not? So the first thing I did was I sat down with Jessica, and in a very neutral manner, I asked her to describe for me what had happened at school that day. And initially, she was very defensive. Her comment, she literally said, "Well, you already know because mom told you." I didn't really love that response, but I was determined to stay neutral, right? That was my goal. And so I just persisted, and I kept asking her only for a description of what happened. I was trying to be like a reporter where I'm just gathering facts. I'm not emotionally involved. I was definitely not judging, criticizing, right? I wasn't doing any of that. I was just asking for a description of what happened. So because I succeeded in staying neutral and non-judgmental, she eventually caught on to the fact that this was not going to be our typical adversarial conversation. So at that point, she actually opened up to me, and she gave me a very clear description of what had happened. And she explained to me that this boy had been teasing her friend, and she decided that kicking him in the face would get him to stop. It did. So then I just asked some more questions, and she made some clarifications. And it was actually calm. We were both very relaxed. We talked for a while. And then I asked her another question, and this was on purpose. My goal was now to inquire about her feelings, but I wasn't interested in just any feelings. I wanted specifically to ask her how she felt about herself. I was trying to turn her inward. So my question was something like this. I said, "So Jessica, what you're saying to me is that when you get upset at other people, you feel like it's okay to hurt them. Is that accurate?" And she didn't really like hearing it that way. And so she denied that she felt it was okay to hurt people. And so then I kind of went back to my fact-finding mode, where I'm just asking her for descriptions of her behavior. And then we came back with the same question a little while later. And I said, "So what you're saying is that when you're upset with someone, you feel like it's okay to hurt them. Is that accurate?" And she denied it again. And then I asked a very simple question. I asked her, "Is this the kind of kid that you want to be?" And her response blew me away. There were instant tears running down her face, and I was stunned by this. And as we talked some more, she admitted that she did not want to be the kind of person that hurt others when she was angry. The beauty of this experience is that Jessica was able to experience her own feelings of disappointment in herself. This was so unlike the many other times I had discussions with her, where the only thing she felt was my disappointment in her. By experiencing her own feelings of self-disapproval, she naturally wanted to change. Before we move on to the next point, I want to thank you for watching this video. Are you struggling to communicate with your child or to discipline them effectively? You know, none of us are given a manual when our kids are born telling us what to do in every situation. We learn by trial and error. Well, that's what this channel is all about. It's about using my system of correcting and connecting to build a strong, trusting, and influential relationship with your child. If that's the kind of thing you want to know more about, then like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends. Now let's get back to the video. When I share this story about Jessica with other parents, I'm often asked what I did next. And the answer is that I did nothing next. What else was there to do? I didn't need to ground her. I didn't need to take her toys away. I didn't need to do anything more punitive, primarily because the punitive part was already there and it was coming from within herself. I just don't think you can improve on that. I believe that turning kids inward is so important that I've actually put together a free 4-part video webinar that will teach you how to do this very thing. I'll go into detail and give you practical steps that will allow you to begin parenting your children from the inside out. Are you looking for a more effective way to connect with your child and build long-term positive influence? Maybe your child is misbehaving or going through a difficult phase and you struggle to know how to discipline them or just how to reach them at all. My name is Dr. Todd Corelli, and I've spent the last 25 years as a clinical psychologist working primarily with children, adolescents, young adults, and families. I've worked with thousands of families around the world, and I've seen the challenges facing families today. That's why I've created a 4-part video series that is completely free to watch and available online for immediate viewing. This helps parents become much more effective at bonding with and positively influencing their children. This system is completely unique, highly effective. I've seen this system benefit my own family and so many others, and I want your family to have this too. So just go to the link in the video description or go to correctandconnect.com. Enter your details, click the button, and I'll send you access immediately.